Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Morning. I love these questions. We get these every once in a while. It's not all doom and gloom. A lot of it is like, I played my cards right, and now I'm sitting on $250,000 cash, and I'm not even 40 yet. And then I asked, why are you contacting me? Have you not seen my fine digs and this fine clothes I wear? Like, yeah, all right. Come talk to the Oracle, known as Cappy. This is one of those deals. Hi, Aaron. I'm a 38-year-old federal employee at a place, and I'm ready to call it quits. I've saved up 38 years old now. Listen to this. He has saved up $650,000 in a combination of thrift savings program, Roth IRA, and taxable accounts. By December of next year, I will have saved up $850,000 due to supercharged war zone savings. I guess that's like extra pay when you go in. My plan is to resign from my position on December 31st of next year, buy rural property in New Hampshire, build a one-room log cabin, and just enjoy the rest of my life. That sounds nice. I've always lived very minimalistically, and the last time I lived full-time in the United States a few years ago, I spent only $20,000 a year. Well, let's just do some real quick math there. You got, let's say it's $850 divided by 20. 42.5 years. All right. I mean, very, very rough math. You should be able to do it. And if you're living D.C., which included work-related expenses such as dry cleaning, kiss and ride, parking, etc., so I'm pretty confident I could even thrive on less than that if I own my place outright. Yeah, if you didn't have rent, that probably takes out, let's just call it 10. You could make it 85 years. Yeah. Even a modest, a small growth in your investments. Heck, even the dividends, if they're reinvested, I think with your minimalistic living, you'll be able to live no problem. So the question of do you have enough money is yes, you do have enough money, assuming you keep your minimalistic living standards. You marry a woman that needs to blow $100,000 a year on crap, you'll make it 6 to 8 years. You won't even make it that long because she'll divorce you and take half of the remaining. I was accustomed to the standard of living. I don't know how the hell that works. She was accustomed to the standard of... We got to talk to Terrence Pop about that. I got to understand that. Lived in, did not have work-related expenses. I'm not married and have no debts and no kids. When I first started making money in my late 20s, I found the Boggleheads community and learned principles of investing in personal finance there. But Boggleheads generally want to live large, responsibly but large, and want to retire with multiple millions or maintain a high standard of living retirement. So that's kind of like the, not the opposite, but the same vein, but the much more spendy brothers of early retirement extreme or Poor Richard's retirement. So I kept looking for a minimalist philosophy I could get down with. I found Mr. Money Mustache, the Mustachians. I liked their philosophy and thought that I had found the right community. But there are a bunch of liberal virtue signaling fucktards. Yeah, I got that impression from him, that he was a lefty. Which is interesting because if you think about, well, then what do? They just focus on exponential and compounding math. They don't understand, like, well, this is how corporate profits come to be and what derives of value. I wonder if they really make the connection, like capitalism, profits, stocks going up, you retiring early. That's what the sage, the oracle of Cappy, gets to tell. As the old adage goes, when the student is ready, the master will appear. I found you. Oh, dude, thank you. Really nice compliment. You espouse a retirement and personal finance philosophy that fits my goals, but without the mustache and liberal fucktard agenda. I'm printing off this one. This is funny. Anyway, I plan to use $100,000 of the aforementioned $850K to buy my rural property and build my cabin. It won't be anything extravagant. It won't be big. About 500 square feet. Oh man, I can see this now. Just a toilet, a room, a nice little living room with maybe not even a television, just a computer screen, but it'll have electricity, either solar grid tied, septic, etc. I plan on living off the remaining $750K. All right. Bottom line, do I really have FU money? Is my plan feasible? Thanks in advance, so let me know your fee. Video response would be great. Cheers, Anonymous. I had some questions here. Do you plan on doing anything else for the remaining 60% of your life? Like any kind of other profession or hobby or career? Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Okay. Thanks for the quick reply. I do not believe I will embark on any other career or profession. I do have a whole slew of hobbies which will slay my free time if I really pursued them all. But I never get bored and actually enjoy doing absolutely nothing. I would speculate that I could be perfectly content in a prison cell for the rest of my life. God, I envy you. If I had good internet connection and books. That might be exaggerating, but it gives you a sense of my personality. Yeah, dude, that's the number one problem with a lot of you guys that play your cards right now. You're sitting on $500,000 in cash. You're like, what do I do? And it's like, you still got 40, 50 years. 60 if you got really good genes in you. You got to do something. And I wish I didn't need people. I wish I was very antisocial and a recluse. Because, dude, that's heaven right there. You got the money, you got your cabin, you don't have expensive taste. You can just sit there and be intellectually stimulated. And that was my concern. But you could just sit in your cabin and chill out, man. That's awesome. That might be exactly. Some of my happiest days was when I was in DC and lived in a very cheap apartment to save money. I rented a room in a shared flat, and in my free time I game, read, listened to music, etc. If I wanted social interaction I could have with my neighbors and my friends in the area. I remember thinking to myself that was a perfectly suitable life for me and didn't cost much. Honestly, I think I could live that life forever and be happy. Yeah, in a retrospective adjusted, that's a different, like what was possible and feasible. But if you accounted for feasibility, context, knowledge, wisdom, I think the happiest I was, if you take away starvation, was this time in college when I was just living cheaply. I want my cabin home to be on a lot with a view, very secluded, but within an hour or two's drive to relatives and a city. I don't plan to set up in the middle of nowhere, Unabomber style, and I completely agree with you that people are important in moderation. I'm a big introvert and get my energy from being alone. As for what I plan to do hobby-wise, I think purchasing, developing the plot of land and building my cabin will consume a lot of the time the first year or two. I have a lot of things I plan to do. Well, with your land, now look, I know going in South Dakota and looking for land. The only real risk is you might have to spend a little bit more than you thought on your cabin. So what you're going to want to do is find a cabin that either has utilities ran out to it, in which case you're going to probably be by some people, or you could. It depends how far they've ran the wires, how big the piece of property is, how far the pipes run. Or you're going to have to get a well and then do your own electricity or whatever like that, or get a propane tank. But the big thing, if you're going to build from scratch and you're going to dig a well, what you want to make sure is there ain't no freaking granite down below. That's the big thing. Now, they'll do a septic test, drilling holes to see what's down below, and is it going to be easy to put a septic tank in? That's the main thing. But you're going to... If there's, like, in other words, don't buy a piece of property without finding out what's underneath, and can you put in infrastructure is basically what I'm saying. Because in South Dakota, that's a big problem. It's like, oh yeah, there's granite, 30 feet below. You're not going to be able to do anything here, unless you get like this super powerful drill, and it costs, drill through regular dirt and rock is like, I think $5 a foot. Granite, it goes up to 40. It's some costly amount. So aside from that, assuming you do, your cabin's going to be your largest purchase. Therefore, I would put your largest expenditure of time into researching and investing and finding a good piece of property that works. That'd be your first thing. Then building a cabin, you're also going to go try and find a good builder that is reputable as well. But I don't know who's going to botch up a 500 square foot cabin. I would also advise, while you're doing that, maybe consider getting yourself a good sized garage. The reason I say that is because you're going to want to have something to work on hobbies, and your hobbies are going to require tools. And so I would say not just a cabin, you could certainly do that, but a garage. I know several guys whose garages are bigger than their cabins. Not that you're going to buy a lot of toys, but you're going to want gear and equipment to work on things, including maintaining your home, doing some carpentry or repairing your own cars or vehicles. And I would also put a wood-burning stove in that cabin, potentially with a mother-in-law apartment above it. But then you got to run plumbing and all that. The reason I would do that is again, you can rent it out to a buddy if you're ever in dire need of cash. I don't think you are going to need that, but it's just something to consider. Because while you're laying the foundation, while the concrete truck is there, let's just pay the extra $10,000 for another plat of concrete, to build your gym, your garage and stuff like that. First, I have a lot of things I plan to do. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. All right, so you're not going to be too far away. Compete in local jiu-jitsu tournaments. All right, take yoga lessons. Get a reloading bench and practice hand loading. Okay, see, yeah, you're gonna need a garage. You're gonna need to add a garage to this. Develop my hunting and handgun loads. Yeah, if you're gonna get milling equipment, any kind of, you're gonna need a garage. Heated, again, wood-burning stove right in there. If you're out in the middle of the woods with New Hampshire, now you already got survivalist added into it. You're gonna survive a winter because you got a wood-burning stove. You could cook on your wood-burning stove. Trust you me. I'd even put a wood-burning stove in the house, in the cabin. You're getting two. Lucky you. Joining a shooting gun club. Start my own garden, my land. Plant trees and flowers. Read all the books I've collected and neglected over the past day. Get a kick-ass computer. Play all the computer games. Okay. Join a historical system. Man, take up fishing. Become a better hunter. Get a dog and a cat. And a cat? Ah, not a cat. You can't do the cat. But our cat's cool. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's a cat. Cook. Eventually get some animals. Maybe if you could. Okay. You're doing. What's his name? Jock Donovan. Except you're not gay, and you're going to be a little bit more posh. A little bit more. He roughs it. I've always wanted to check out his encampment there out in Oregon. I also plan to occasionally travel both domestically and internationally like you. I will mostly couch surf as I have friends all over the world in the country. Yeah, dude, if you got that network, man, the world open. Everyone, how do you do that at 35,000? It's like, look, most people can't. If you don't have your friends, in a global network of friends, you can't do it. Yeah, I mean, even people, man, they always, you got your house paid off. Why don't you chill out and relax? Why don't you get a nice hotel sometime? Because a nice hotel costs $200. That's like a month of food. Nice food, good food. I'll just go sleep on Bob. I'm unconscious anyway. I'm not awake for the, oh my God, this is a wonderful bed in a wonderful room. I had a great dream. This has nothing to do, but this just to show you, I had this dream. Sleep in my regular old bed. And it was a wonderful dream, and I was in South Dakota. All my buddies were there with me. Dirty Harriet was there. Denver Ben was there. Chaplain Dave was there. And we're all having a party. We're in Rapid City. Hey, let's go hike. So we all got off-road, motocross motorcycles. We just rode off into the Badlands, the Black Hills. Where do we go? I'm like, I know where I'm going because I'm here in Clare. I know everything about this place. And we just it was wonderful. Whether I was in a $200 a night hotel or Bob's couch, it doesn't matter. Well, it does when you wake up to the real world and say, shit, where'd the $200 go? Shoot, I should have slept on Bob's couch. I don't even know if I got a friend named Bob. But the biggest expense will be moving my body from one couch to another, as you once put it. Yes, that is what I'll send it. Okay, I'll keep your name anonymous. You have everything you need to do. You got enough money. You do have enough money. What I would do though is see if you can, because there's going to be two ways your investments grow. One is through capital gains, which can go down. You can also have, but over time, over the next 40 years until you're dead, I think there's going to be significant appreciation. And then there's going to be dividend income of which you can collect. Now, with your TSP and your 401k you had or IRA, you're not going to be able to tap that income. So you're going to have to live off of your non-investment accounts. And you might have to tap into the capital of those accounts to live off of it, depending on how much you have there. But just for safety's sake, because I'm very risk averse. I don't trust the world. I just don't trust the world. I would be trying to live off of the dividend income that you're in other words, you don't want to tap your capital. Your 401k and IRA, probably should have asked you how much you got in there. I'm just going to assume you have enough invested in there that those are going to grow to the point that you do hit early retirement age. You're set to go and you can withdraw without the penalty and all that. And I think you're going to be taken care of. What I would like for you to do, though, is for the next 10 years, see if you can just get by without tapping into the capital. May not be possible. If you are going to tap into the capital, tap into the, obviously, non-retirement account capital so you don't pay those early withdrawal fees. And kind of in an unfortunate way, I mean, you do own the monies there, but you don't want to pay that 10% withdrawal fee, so you're going to have to live off of your non-retirement accounts. I would also be open to the idea of working some kind of part-time job. Now, if you want to work on guns, you want to learn how to rework ammo, although your profession may have taught you that already, I would go see if you can work part-time at a gunsmith and learn gunsmithing or something. Get some kind of part-time job. I know you don't want to, but something that you can get, or another skill, or something that you can just make a little bit of money and you don't have to worry about tapping your capital. See if you can live another 5 to 10 years on you. You don't have to work full-time in DC anymore. But see if you can't get something that you go in part-time. You don't even have to live off of it. It just subsidizes your current cash flow. I don't want you bleeding your accounts just yet. You make another 5 to 10 years working some part-time gig. I don't know. Go become a teacher. Go. My kid, don't become a teacher. You've lived in the real world way too much to even tolerate that bullshit. Just work some part-time gig. So you got a little bit of money coming in. You're not completely dependent on your non-retirement account. And then within 10 years, okay, then you can start taking your capital out of it if you want to. But unfortunately, one of the, unless you want to pay that 10%, your retirement accounts, you're not going to be able to access those until I think at least you're 62 or 65. So you're going to have to live off of the other stuff in the meantime. You may, another thing, because buying the right piece of property is going to be very important. When were you going to quit, or when are you going to retire? Resign in December 31st of next year. All right, so you got a year. You should be able, at the rate you're going, you should be able to have enough cash in your accounts that maybe working part-time is going to mean boom. I think you should work part-time anyway, but this is a year from now. So in this next year, what's more important is you pick the right property. You spend some time, effort, and energies driving up to New Hampshire, doing some reconnaissance, checking out the place, figuring out where you want to go, where there's hard thing you're going to have to find is where's a cabin that's somewhat secluded, but then within half an hour to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. And is there going to be good internet where you're at? It's another thing. Again, going from because I found a great piece of property for $15,000 in South Dakota, and it had nothing. There was nothing out there. And I'd have to spend tons of money getting shit out there. So I would continue working, save your money. If you need extra money to make it the extra 5 to 10 years, why don't you just work it up another quarter or two? Don't have December 31st be the hard one. And if you don't find a property by December 31st, you haven't bought it, I would keep working. Yeah, that's what I would do, is just keep on working. Maybe be a little bit more flexible with your work. If you can last another, even 6 months would help build up your actual cash. Don't throw any more into your retirement accounts. You're going to need some cash up front to last you the next 27 years till you retire. All right, so you have to build up your cash savings that can be withdrawn and not taxed. But the number one thing is to be finding the correct piece of property. So I would say if you got weekends, fly. How far is it to DC to Hampshire? What is the main town in New Hampshire? Is that Montpelier? Is that the town? Washington, D.C. To New Hampshire. $201. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Look how far. I forget the U.S. does that thing. That's a ways away, man. You're going to have to fly. Oh, that's gonna be a time investment. Yeah, look at all that, and that's bad traffic too. You gotta go through Philly, New York. Oh, forget that. Jesus Christ. If you got vacation time, I'd be going up to New Hampshire, and I'd be get yourself a realtor, and spend 2 weeks just looking for property and family. Do a lot of research on the internet so you can save less time up north. And just research the hell out of it. First thing, if Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is that important, I'd search Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in New Hampshire and figure out where there's, and then kind of, okay, well, then a 20-mile radius here, 20-mile radius here, 20-mile radius here. Where can I go within that 20-mile radius that has a cabin that's up in New Hampshire? Oh, that's a long-ass drive. Yeah. And then what you can do is, if you're lucky, you find a property early on, buy it, see it doesn't go up in price anymore, and then you can slowly start building on top of it. But yeah, you're gonna have to fly. I always categorize New England as one kind of close thing. Like, they're all small little pussy states anyway. You can bike across one in half a day, and it's like, oh no, then it goes like this. Yeah, so keep working, save your money, build up some non-retirement account savings. Do your research, find the property. This next year, you're going to spend a fair amount of time in New Hampshire, both on the internet and feet on the ground, and get yourself a realtor. And that's your next part-time job right there, because you do not want to goof up picking the wrong piece of property. And that's it. Yeah, I mean, you do have the money easy to retire, and those accounts are going to grow shit. If let's just say it grows at 8%. Where's the 2 power to the 0.1? My stupid calculator's not doing it. You're going to have more than enough with that just growing at normal rates. It's making that gap in between now and then when you retire, but I think you'll do it. But, in the meantime, work your job, squirrel away some cash, buy a property if you need to, because you got a cash shortage. Build up a little bit more, and then you can go to New Hampshire then. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, SOConsulting.com. See you all later. Toodles.